Call of Duty actually listened to their community for the first time in what feels like forever. We're going to talk about today's update from Treyarch on carry forward happening in Black Ops 7. With the launch of Black Ops 7, Season 1 was going to have a carry forward feature where it brought forward all the skins and apparently the weapons from Call of Duty Black Ops 6 over into Black Ops 7. If you don't remember, this also happened with Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3, which left the game feeling super bloated. Its art style was just kind of thrown out the window immediately, with all of the rapper skins and character skins or whatever being transferred over into it, and then all of the MW2 weapons and their subsequent attachments were transferred over into MW3, and the entire game just felt like a cluttered, bloated mess. For the first couple of weeks, people were using the MW2 weapons instead of the new weapons. People had max level gear. It was just really, really weird. So they were going to do the same thing with Black Ops 6 going into Black Ops 7, have a carry forward feature that transfers skins and weapon content over into Black Ops 7 with the launch of Season 1, but that is no longer happening. As of today, Treyarch and Call of Duty have announced that they are no longer doing carry forward for Black Ops 7. This includes the weapons and the skins, so that means you won't be seeing any of those Beavis and Butthead skins or any of those American Dad skins or anything that was in Black Ops 6. None of that is coming over to Black Ops 7. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean we won't have crazy, weird skins here and there, but at least for the first 3 months, this game will stick with its art style. Hopefully, that's what I'm hoping for anyway. There's a lot of positive community sentiment about this. You can see a lot of people cheering this on. Everybody seems to be very excited. Even Parasite's over here talking about thank you, base god. So this is a huge W. Let's read the post itself. First off, thank you. Call of Duty has always been fueled by the community. Every match, clip, and every bit of feedback, you shaped this franchise alongside us, which is very true. Call of Duty wouldn't be where it is today without content, without people that were dedicated to making montages, posting their funny clips, spreading the word of Call of Duty throughout the internet. Call of Duty has always kind of lived and breathed off of its community and the things that people create around the game. We know there's been a lot of conversation about the identity of Call of Duty. Some of you have said we've drifted from what made Call of Duty unique in the first place: immersive, intense, visceral, and in many ways grounded. That feedback hits home and we take it seriously. I'm kind of disappointed they didn't say this was MW3, to be honest, going from MW2 to MW3, but I do think that the skins have gotten worse, especially the cell shaded skins that just look so out of place. And I know some people probably think, well, it's just a skin, it doesn't affect gameplay. Look, this is the way I like to look at it. Maintaining a theme of the game is just as important to the game as the gameplay, okay? Fortnite can get away with this because there is no real theme. It's a battle royale that is a massive universe of just about everything. It can do whatever. Call of Duty games historically have had themes, art styles, approaches to how they want the games to look and feel, even with the futuristic games, which did have their elements of fun skins here and there. There was the clown skin in AW, but the difference is between then and now, we only had a couple of those things here and there. Michael Myers and Predator and Ghost, 2 skins, and the Snoop Dogg announcer. Every single update for modern Call of Duty now is a crossover, some kind of skin, some kind of collaboration. It's not special anymore. It's not being special ages ago, to be frank. Back in the day, it was special because we didn't get that content prior to 2012 when Black Ops 2 came out. We had all the fun weapon skins or whatever, but prior to that, we didn't get any of those crazy chaotic skins. So when they started rolling in, that's when it became special, fun, interesting. People didn't mind it. People did roast the clown skin in AW though. Let's not forget that got crap way back in the day too. But for the most part, community sentiment wasn't as hateful towards skins because it was a new thing. It was still, fresh. We didn't get clowns and rappers and musicians and sports players and all this other stuff back to back to back with these frequent updates, or in the case of some of the other skins now, Beavis and Butthead, TMNT, American Dad, things that absolutely in no capacity have anything to do with Call of Duty. And not that Michael Myers or Predator had anything to do with COD, but it was still a little bit more acceptable because Predator, I mean, come on, it's a murderous alien in a game, which was Ghost, that had the I forgot what that game mode was called. It wasn't Zombies, Extinction. That game actually had technically, I guess, not aliens because they were on Earth, but you know what I mean, right? Predator being in a game about shooting other people is perfectly acceptable for the most part. Michael Myers was basically a tribute to the old Michael Myers game modes. I'm pretty certain we had a Michael Myers skin, didn't we? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty certain we did. That was supposed to be a tribute to the OG like game mode of Michael Myers that people created in older Call of Duties. My point is, it was acceptable then because it wasn't all over the place. You didn't have cartoons running around in a game where you're slide canceling and shooting people and all this other stuff and just looking completely out of place. So this is a massive change that needed to happen, and I'm glad they're doing it. Let's continue onward. Carry forward update. Operator skins and weapons from BO6 will no longer carry forward to BO7, but they will still work in Warzone, which makes sense. Warzone doesn't necessarily have as much history with having a theme as like the multiplayer side of Call of Duty has. Now, the original Warzone kind of did with MW19's engine before they fully just closed out the entire thing, unfortunately. It did kind of have a theme, but it isn't as long-lasting as modern COD. BRs, I think you can kind of get away with a little bit more, maybe. Multiplayer, though, it's always had a theme to it or something that made it, like, feel within the world, you know? Fighting cheaters. Ricochet is adding new detection tools, plus secure boot, oh my god, secure boot / TPM 2.0 on PC to stop cheaters earlier. I've heard that secure boot doesn't really stop cheaters too much. They had to do secure boot in Battlefield 6, which we're going to talk about in this video, by the way, in a bit, but I don't really think that's going to make too much of a difference. Hopefully it does. We'll see. And then they have a full blog post here where they talk about everything in a little bit more depth, but this is a prime example of why competition in gaming is extremely healthy. There was a statement put out by COD devs saying that they thought Call of Duty was too big to fail. We've had the Battlefield 6 beta, we've seen how it looks, how it plays, how it feels, and while it isn't necessarily playing like a Call of Duty, like I don't go to Battlefield 6 to replace COD. I go to Battlefield 6 for the Battlefield feeling, right? But it looks good, it sounds good, everything's within theme, people loved the beta. And it also doesn't help that I guess that the trailer for Black Ops 7 got blasted into oblivion with the dislikes, right? Some of that really is just Battlefield fans coming over to hate on it, like, let's be for real. But a lot of it is Call of Duty fans are very not happy with a lot of things, especially the carry forward stuff. So let's see what we have here. This is basically the same thing again. Fueled by community, blah, blah, blah. Conversation about identity, blah, blah, blah. Throughout development, Treyarch and Raven's North Star has been to deliver a spiritual successor to BO2 while taking some big swings. You'll see it across Black Ops 7's multiplayer, zombies, and campaign, including Endgame and even Dead Ops Arcade. So we've already kind of read this, but again, Gobblegums and XP tokens will carry forward, everything else won't. That's a huge W. It all still works in Warzone. This change applies only to BO7. Warzone is not affected, and all your BO6 content stays usable there. Fighting cheaters with Ricochet. Cheating ruins matches. We know how frustrating it is. Sure. In Black Ops 6, we've made some solid progress, shutting down cheat makers faster, reducing response times, and cleaning up leaderboards. I don't know about that cleaning up leaderboards part. Like 80% of the people in the top 250 that aren't like TP and apathy, people who actually have history in being very good at Call of Duty, most of the people on that leaderboard are cheaters, right? There's still a lot of cheaters on the top 250 leaderboard in Warzone, at least. But for Black Ops 7, we're going further. As we previously detailed in our progress report, starting November 14th, PC players will need to enable secure boot and TPM 2.0 on PC, giving us stronger tools to block cheats at the system level. I don't really care. I ain't got nothing to hide. Like, it doesn't bother me personally. New detection and mitigation systems will also roll out, built to kick cheaters earlier and harder. Some will be tested during the beta. The full suite will go live at launch. We're committed to staying ahead and protecting fair play. I hope this works. Your feedback matters. In BO7, bundles and items will be crafted to fit the Black Ops identity. Look, I'm going to take that with a grain of salt. I hope that is the case. I hope that whatever skins we get stay within the theme of the game. Please, that is good. That's a good idea. That's a phenomenal idea. Actually, stick to it though. Please, I beg you. We hear the feedback. We need to deliver a better balance towards the immersive core Call of Duty experience. Yes, they do. A ton of feedback has already gone into BO7, and in the coming weeks, you'll hear much more directly from Treyarch. Here's just some of the info you can look forward to from the studio. Additional info on maps, weapons, and systems, refined movement updates, what we are doing to ensure the core moment-to-moment gameplay experience takes a leap forward. Then we've got some zombie stuff, more info on launch content and the new Wonder Vehicle, details on the new Dark Aether version of the original crew, and a deeper dive into gameplay systems, including a new way to reward hardcore players. And more information, progression for the first time, earn XP, and weapon progression in every single mode across the campaign, multiplayer, and zombies. We've heard about this, I believe. Classic prestige returns with new weapon procedures. We already know about this. Weekly challenge systems come back from MW3, more ways to earn camos and in-game rewards, and expanded gameplay content. And then we got Call of Duty next on September 30th, the beta on the 2nd through the 8th. Look, this is all great. I really just want to see like it happen. I want to see it happen, actually. MW3 was one of the best Call of Duties we've had in the modern era. And like, campaign was atrocious. Multiplayer was one of the funnest experiences I personally had. From the seasonal content to the updates to the weekly challenges to the conversion kits, they knocked it out the park with MW3 personally from a multiplayer side of things, in my opinion. SBMM still exists, but what can you do, right? This is overall a W set of changes, man. I'm just hoping that they continue to listen. I don't think COD needs to go back to boots on the ground necessarily. I'm fine with the futuristic elements. Seriously, like there's only so much modern warfare we can do, right? But if they're going to do the future, I just like the idea that they're going to stick to a theme with it. Will they follow all of the rules and guidelines they've set in this update? We'll see. But I'm glad that they are listening and making these necessary changes and at least taking into account some of the things that the community, be it competitive or casual, I'm not trying to argue between the two, want for the game. Everybody universally agrees for the most part that a lot of these skins suck. So I'm glad that they're listening and I'm glad they're making these changes. This is also another prime example of why competition in the FPS space is important. I really just don't think we would have seen any of this happen if it wasn't for Battlefield coming out with all of its content. So I don't know. I'm just hoping that competition keeps Call of Duty in check and they strive to actually make the game for the players and not necessarily just for their pockets. We'll see. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below, guys. And thanks for watching. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Sub for more. And as always, this has been your boy Jay. I'll catch you later. Peace.